Hello and welcome back, subscribblers, and welcome new viewers to another mini sketchbook tour. I have an abbreviated version of this if you want to see it with just some music. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. Sketchbook number 2 started on June 3rd with a little bunny. I was just kind of filling in these mini sketchbooks as I went along. I wasn't entirely sure about filming them. I do everything from characters to fan art to just random things from Pinterest. These aren't full-blown studies because, again, these are more pocket sketchbooks, so these are just really quick on the go, no thoughts, just vibing and drawing without feeling pressured to have an amazing sketchbook. I do have full-sized sketchbooks. These are like just bigger than a sticky note, and for good reason, because some of these are some of the results of the sketches, and then I also get some of these adorable ones of random characters that I just come up with on the spot. Sometimes I feel angry, so I want to draw something that day that makes me kind of like release tensions, or I have a dream about a unicorn with a red gem and I want to draw it. I kind of consider this like what I guess would be considered like a notebook full of wonders, because I don't even know what's going to be on the next page. I don't have a specific theme. Sometimes I'll be working on studies if I'm struggling with something, or other times I'm just playing a game and I want to draw what I see. I also really enjoy being able to use colored pencils and traditional mechanical pencils because it gives me a chance to kind of get a feel for how I want to position my pencil, and other concept ideas like this one, little frog raincoat or other objects for fantasy items. I did a little challenge of Pokemon from memory because I was going to be doing this for a future YouTube video, but I wanted to practice. I was also trying to figure out if I wanted to do the Pokemon fusion generator instead, some of these look a little fugly because I was not sure where the markings on some of these Pokemon were. I do know most of my Pokemon, but not all of them. There's too many. My favorite Pokemon, of course, being Umbreon. I knew how to draw them, and then a random two-tailed fox furry character. Most of these sketches take me anywhere from 5 minutes to at most 20 minutes. I try to use whatever time I have to just quickly fill in a page. I'm not really trying to have a goal for these mini sketchbooks, so when I complete them, they're a lot faster than a full-size sketchbook, even though there's so many more pages just because the sheer size of these. Just kind of no thoughts go into them other than I have an idea, I put it in sketchbook, and if I like it, then I'll use it for something later. If not, then I've at least gotten sort of like that itch to draw taken care of for that day. Here's an example of one that I have mixed feelings for. It was a Cupid baby statue, and then this is a chibi version of Biscuit that turned into an animation. A no-eyed Drake. Really derpy doodles. I was feeling dizzy on some of these days, so I drew that on the page and then came up with new characters that I'll save for future video. Random quick challenges of like no erasing or prompts based off of a word generator, or blob generator in this case, that made this. And then I came up with a ribbon monster, you know, like spooky. These ones kind of downgraded, but this was a case of me just drawing whatever I felt like because I just really needed to draw. You know, when you're kind of struggling with art block and you just need to draw something, it doesn't need to look pretty, and eventually it can lead to something really cool. That's kind of why I would recommend having like a mini sketchbook, because you never really know what you're going to draw, and it doesn't hurt to have messy drawings in here. I mean, some of these I would love to erase or slap sticky notes on them. Like, this is just my fan. It was really hot, we were having a really bad day, and then I later drew a chibi. So some of these drawings may look really ugly to me, but some other people might find it inspirational or find it really cool and might give people ideas for their own drawings. Then I was just kind of bouncing back into random character designs. I really enjoy coming up with concepts for characters a lot, you'll see that, but I also wanted to practice other things to get outside my comfort zone, like these random flowers that I drew. Sometimes just scrolling through Pinterest for hours or other social medias gets me really stressed because I see so many other artworks that just stress me out. So I take a minute with these pocket sketchbooks to just draw from my own imagination, or I just kind of draw what I see around me, and it kind of is like a little journal in a way that tells me what was going on during that particular day or week. I like some of these characters, and then another thing is when I'm playing video games, like this was when I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake with my husband, and it's a little note and a memory to look back onto. Others are just concepts for future videos like these, little plushy fox design that I quickly came up with, and others that need some work, like these chibi humans I really need to practice. I tried to do little random doodles like beans so I could work on shapes for chibis that later turned into me drawing these poses or bases of random furry, in general kind of creatures. And then a butterfly dragon, instead of the wings on its back, it's on its head and tail. I just love these little tiny chibis. I don't know, I used to draw chibis a lot more, but I kind of fell out of touch with it, so some of them look cute and some of them look a little fugly. I also am not too great with coming up with what to put per page, so like example here, these were just random thrown in on the spot doodles, and then I went back to character design and turned this into marble, which I have a little tiny video if you want to see that, and this is a character that I'll probably work on later as well. And then just page filler. These I'm not proud of, but hey, it was a page filler. Every sketchbook I feel like has them, and then you turn to another page and you're like, oh, that looks nice, and then you completely forget about the previous page's abomination. That's why I like this. And then just some relaxing frog with a mushroom hat. Some of these are just little like serotonin boosts for me, others are study days, and I like being able to look back onto some of these drawings because I never know what some of these drawings are gonna turn into later on. For example, cacti, like cat cactus kind of creations. You know, those might turn into something later, and others might not, like these, a ghost balloon and a bread cat. These ones gave me some ideas. These were just random dogs I was kind of looking at online and just kind of quickly just sketched them. Gave them alien-like eyes, so the next page after this one was me practicing eyes because I wasn't sure what kind of shapes or styles I should make some of my characters, because the style that I come up with, whether it's dot eyeballs or super detailed with lots of shimmers in them, definitely changes the feel of the characters. Some of them are lifeless and then full of life. I also tried to do some realistic versus a sort of cartoonish approach. For these, not sure why I used red pencil. I think I was just switching supplies again, and then I jumped to a blue colored pencil. I think this was from Pinterest or maybe a video about someone jogging, and then I did one straight out of my head of a vampire girl. I kind of wanted to compare, and this kind of shows the difference of how I do realistic versus cartoon. A random design that I might use later of this clown bunny. And then this fella, I don't know what I'm gonna name him, but I love them so much. I want to honestly frame that one out of any of these sketches in my sketchbook. I finished off with a chibi of Vixie and then Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And then the very last page, I don't know why, I was just watching Undertale and I'm like, I'm gonna draw Sans, but sad because he dropped ketchup. I finished this sketchbook on August 9th, so it did take me a while. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much for watching this in-depth sketchbook tour. Check out some of my playlists, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!